121,248. That number appeared on your screen just now. It is the count of people who watched our last deep dive into the cosmos. A success by every measure: views, shares, comments. And that is precisely what makes it unsettling. Because those 121,248 viewers were searching for answers. They wanted to know why. If the universe is so vast, so ancient, so teeming with potential, why is it silent? No signals, no ruins, no visitors. Just an endless, empty dark. That silence has a name: the Fermi Paradox. And there is a theory that might explain it. A theory that, if true, changes everything about our future. It is called the Great Filter. The idea is simple. Somewhere along the path from lifeless chemistry to a star-faring civilization, there is a step so difficult that almost no species survives it. Maybe it is the origin of life itself. Maybe it is the leap to intelligence. Or maybe, and this is the part that keeps scientists awake, the filter is still ahead of us. In the next few minutes, we will walk through the paradox, examine the possible filters, and ask the question that follows from the silence: are we already doomed? Look up. On a clear night, the Milky Way stretches across the sky like a river of dust and fire. You see thousands of stars, each one is a sun. Many have planets. Some of those planets are Earth-sized, orbiting in the habitable zone. The math is staggering. With hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy alone, the universe should be buzzing with life. Civilizations should be broadcasting signals, building megastructures, leaving footprints across the cosmos. But we hear nothing. The sky is silent, no radio whispers, no laser pulses, no alien artifacts. This is the Fermi Paradox, a question that cuts through the optimism. If life is common, where is everybody? Over 121,000 of you watched our last space-themed video, proving you care about the unknown. Yet the silence remains. Scientists have proposed many answers. Maybe life is rare, maybe civilizations destroy themselves, or maybe there is a barrier, a great filter, that stops almost all life from reaching the stars. But here's the twist. If that filter exists, it could be behind us, or it could lie ahead. What if the reason we're alone is far more terrifying than we realize? You are a civilization climbing a ladder. Each rung is a step toward the stars: a biogenesis, simple cells, complex life, intelligence, technology, interstellar expansion. But somewhere, one rung is missing. That missing rung is the Great Filter. It is a theoretical barrier, a wall so high that almost no form of life ever scales it. The universe should be buzzing with signals, with ruins, with voices, yet you hear nothing. The Great Filter explains why. It says that somewhere in the long chain from primordial soup to galactic empire, there is a step so nearly impossible that only one species, or none, ever passes through. Scientists do not know where that step lies. They do not even know if the filter exists. But the logic is brutal. If it does, then intelligent life is a fluke, a rare bloom in a desert of dead worlds. Over 121,000 of you watched our last space-themed video, proving you care about the unknown. Yet the Great Filter asks a darker question. What if the silence is not emptiness, but a graveyard? What if every civilization that reaches a certain point simply stops? Therefore, the most urgent mystery is not whether the filter exists. It is where it sits. Is this filter behind us, or still ahead of humanity? Subscribe to uncover the universe's darkest secrets. Picture a universe of 100 billion galaxies, each with 100 billion stars. Yet silence. The Great Filter theory says, somewhere along the ladder of life, a step is nearly impossible to clear. But what if humanity already climbed that step? What if the hardest part is behind us? Consider abiogenesis, the leap from non-living chemistry to the first self-replicating cell. On Earth, it happened fast, within a few 100 million years. That suggests it might be easy. But maybe that speed is a trap. Perhaps the universe is littered with planets where life sparks, then stalls, never advances beyond a single cell, a billion-year bacterial world forever stuck. That would be the filter, and we passed it. Yet there is another possibility. The filter could be the rise of intelligence itself. On Earth, Complex life took over 2 billion years to produce a species that builds telescopes and splits atoms. That delay might be the norm. Most planets may never see a thinking creature. But we did. Therefore, the filter is behind us. But if we have already passed the great filter, why does the silence persist? Because the filter might still lie ahead, not in our past, but in our future, a barrier that every intelligent civilization eventually hits and fails to survive. If not, what's the one obstacle we might never overcome? Over 121,000 of you watched our last deep dive, proving you care about the unknown. But what if the unknown is not out there, but ahead of us? The great filter might still lie in our future. That means we are not yet a spacefaring civilization. We are still climbing the ladder, and the rungs are cracking. Consider the threats we face today. Nuclear weapons could end us in an afternoon. Engineered pandemics could spread faster than we can respond. Climate change is already reshaping our world. Artificial intelligence could outpace our control. Any one of these could be the barrier that stops us from ever reaching the stars. But here's the chilling part. We don't know which one is the filter. It could be that every civilization that invents nuclear power destroys itself before it can colonize another planet. Or that advanced AI inevitably turns against its creators. Or that the very nature of complex life leads to self-annihilation. The universe is silent, perhaps because every species that reaches our level of technology goes extinct. That would explain the silence, and it would mean we are walking a razor's edge. Every day we survive is a day we defy the filter, but we have no idea how close we are to the edge. What does this mean for our survival as a species? Imagine you wake up tomorrow to a headline. We know where the great filter sits. The silence of the universe is no longer a mystery, it's a verdict. If the filter lies behind us, then humanity has already survived the impossible. Our biogenesis, the leap from chemistry to life, was the rarest event in cosmic history. You are the exception. Every star you see is empty because you are the first. The weight of that solitude is staggering, but so is the responsibility. You carry the only torch in a dark galaxy. Yet, if the filter lies ahead, the silence becomes a warning. Every civilization that reached your stage faced a wall they could not climb. And you are approaching it now. The question shifts from, are we alone, to how long do we have? Scientists would race to identify the threat, self-destruction, technological collapse, a natural catastrophe we cannot foresee. But knowing the danger does not guarantee survival. It could paralyze you with fear or force you to act. The answer would reshape everything. Your politics, your purpose, your place in the cosmos. Could this knowledge be the key to our survival or our downfall? You are a species that has just discovered the ladder, but you don't know if the rung you stand on is the one that breaks. The great filter is a theoretical barrier, a wall in evolution that makes advanced civilizations rare. Scientists do not know what it is or whether it even exists. Yet the silence of the universe screams that something, somewhere, stops life from reaching the stars. Therefore, the odds are not in your favor. The Fermi Paradox asks why the cosmos is empty. The great filter answers, because at least one hurdle is nearly impossible to clear. That hurdle could be behind us, abiogenesis, the leap from simple cells to complex ones. If so, humanity is special and the future is open. But it could lie ahead. Nuclear war, climate collapse, an AI that does not share your values, a biological catastrophe engineered by your own hands. Over 14,600 of you have joined this journey to understand the great filter. That number is small against the scale of the problem, yet it proves one thing. You are looking, you are asking the question, and that act alone might be the first step past the filter, if you choose to act. The answer might redefine our place in the universe. The universe is silent, not a whisper from a single star, yet the math says it should be screaming. So where is everyone? The great filter offers one chilling answer. The barrier isn't behind us, it's ahead. We haven't found anyone because no one has made it through. And that means humanity may be walking straight into the same wall. 14,600 subscribers have joined this journey to understand the great filter. Walan32 agreed this mystery matters. 121248 views proved you care about the unknown. But the real number is zero. Zero signals, zero ruins, zero proof that any civilization ever passed the test. Therefore, the silence is not empty. It's a warning. The lesson is brutal but simple. The universe doesn't owe us survival. Every species that reaches our level faces a choice: overcome the filter or vanish. We don't know what the filter is. It could be nuclear war. It could be climate collapse. It could be something we haven't even imagined. But the silence tells us one thing: the odds are against us. Yet that's not a reason to give up. It's a reason to pay attention, to look at our own world and ask, are we the ones who will break through, or will we become another empty star? Next time, we uncover a hidden monopoly that controls the very data we use to search for answers. A monopoly you've never heard of. Stay curious. The cosmos is listening.